Hey, are you a B2B consultant? Or are you an experienced professional thinking about starting a career in the consulting industry? Or are you a student wondering whether or not consulting is good for you? If yes to any of those questions, you will be a great fit for a first free coaching call with us. We will be looking at your career and life objectives, looking at your past and current experiences, and build a roadmap towards the business or the career that fits with your desired lifestyle. Please join us at consultinglifestyle.fm slash coaching. Consultinglifestyle.fm slash coaching. Thank you. Hello and welcome to the Consulting Lifestyle Podcast to my guest, George El-Hage. George, how are you?
I'm doing great, Dio, how about you?
Yeah, doing well. But I must say, and I think you know it, we are in Montreal, and today it was a pretty heavy snowstorm.
Oh,
But otherwise, everything is fine. And George, so you are the founder of Wave, and I would like you first, before going into that directly into that topic, can you just introduce your career story in a nutshell to the audience?
yeah, definitely. So in a nutshell, my career started in finance. I was working typically on Excel as an analyst at Manulife for in public equities, and then eventually I moved into a fintech role
Hmm.
where I was doing tech sales, and then I grew into the director of growth, where we're helping, on the marketing side, and then eventually I said, I want to chill in sweatpants all day and become a tech founder. So that's what I ended up doing.
Ah, okay. And also, so by becoming a director of growth, you get that bug that says, okay, I really would like to continue in that. But you have a pretty mostly you have a pretty special idea, business idea. So how did you come to the business idea of Wave?
Well, there's two things. It's one, the market helped enable digital business cards to actually grow and foster into an actual business. I think it was 2 years ago that iPhone unlocked the NFC for any future phones. So what that allowed us to do is be able to work with iPhone and Android to share and tap using NFC. So that was a good time for us to launch a digital business card. And at the same time, it just comes down to, why are we using the same old tools to do business development, try landing jobs, trying to get investors, trying to get sales through paper business cards? It's like our whole brand is online, yet we're using a 3x6 piece of paper to kind of exchange information. It just felt wrong. And it was a time that, somebody disrupts the space and you move on to something better.
Yes, I definitely agree. When actually did you start with? So if you want to put some dates so that we can.
Yeah. We officially launched and incorporated in March of 2021. So it's been a year and a bit.
Okay, okay, and we know that it's about a year after the start of the pandemic. So, how
Yeah.
has the pandemic influenced your? Has it accelerated your idea, or made it you afraid, or what? How has it been?
So the it's unfortunate what happened with the pandemic, but the
Mm.
pandemic also gave us that opportunity to be able to reflect on ourselves and then go ahead and build something, because everybody had an ample amount of time at home to be able to think and build and grow.
Mhm.
So we took advantage uh, of that situation, in a sense where we knew that there was no events, but we didn't want to start working on this when things, quote unquote, got back to normal like they are right now, because then it would be too late. So we decided 2 years ago that that's it. We're gonna do this now, and we're gonna bet on humanity that things are gonna get back to normal and eventually go back to in-person events. And we were right by betting on us. So that's kind of how it started. Yeah, we took a risk in COVID. There was no events. It was super tough to get like customer feedback because nobody was going out and actually networking. And typically we needed the feedback. So we ended up leveraging TikTok to find a wait list of we got approximately 1,000 people on board. We started sending samples, and then they ended up trying them out with friends and family, and we got some sort of feedback to be able to gauge which direction we need to go.
That's great. That's great. And yeah, you took like some of the latest social media apps to do that. And as you said, it's a bet on you that you do. So I understand because you use the word we. I understand that you are not completely alone. So you have co-founders.
Yeah, so when I use we, I just like mean me, myself, and I. No, we do have a team. It's myself. Max is the full-time full stack developer.
Mhm.
We have Leo, who's working as the project manager, Margie, who's doing graphic design, and we just onboarded a UI UX designer too.
Yeah, excellent. And I think that's a topic that will interest a lot of people in the audience because in the audience you have there are a lot of people that are solopreneur or they are employees and they think they would like to start their own business. How did you maybe not every person in your team, but how did you meet or how did you come with the idea of with the need of okay, I need a full stack developer, I need a graphic designer. How did you build that team?
Yeah, it's a great question. Like at first, whenever you start a company, at first you're pretty much doing everything. You're a generalist. You're working on marketing, the tech side. You're working on graphic design using Canva to do anything. Um, you're pretty much doing the whole operations.
Mhm.
Eventually, you start realizing that you can't go far alone.
Mhm.
You're pretty much stuck. So you kind of need that expertise. And as you go, you start understanding. Okay, well, I obviously don't know how to code as well as I think I know how to code, if not at all. Took one Python course my whole life. So I probably need somebody who knows how to build tech on my team. So that's when I realized that's when I should hire a full stack developer. And then eventually, um, and here's the thing, like for startups who are just getting started, you don't need to hire. Typically, what you want to do is like give out a portion of equity for a co-founder. Lucky for me, I was able to use my savings and I bet on myself to hire that person.
Mhm.
But there's a lot of people who are not in the same situation, who don't have a safety net in that sense.
Mhm.
And the best thing to do is get a technical co-founder to help you out. But eventually, as time passes by, you'll know that the needs that you pretty much need, and you go
Mhm.
ahead and hire those.
Yeah, yeah, no, great. That's a great lesson and a great example. And how because you're both in Montreal, how is the startup environment there in Montreal?
It's really fun, man. Like there's a lot of people here. Like we're working at a co-working space at Trois Places Ville-Marie in WeWork. So we recently this month got our office space. Myself and Max sits behind me, and it's great, man. There's so many people here in the ecosystem in Montreal who are super active in terms of starting a business. And it's just nice to be in a place where we can kind of see everybody in the same level in a sense, like everybody trying to get to that point of building a business across Canada and the US and trying to make it. So
Mhm. Okay, and then if we go back to so digital business cards, as you said, maybe with the pandemic and the fact that a lot of people were at home, you could spend some energy and time developing that. Who is it for? Is it for every type of professional? Is it for a specific target market?
yeah, that's a so pretty much it's for people who go out there and network. So these could be like proactive students who are going to recruitment events and looking to land jobs. This could be for entrepreneurs and business owners to go ahead and meet people, get more sales. But typically, the way it works, it's for sales and business development to go out there and help with their lead generation, to automate the follow ups, and to build more meaningful connections, because you'll be able to share your whole digital identity in one place without having to just give out an email and then hope that that prospect or lead ends up falling on your website or your LinkedIn or your social media profiles. So having everything in one place really bridges that gap and helps you better connect with that person. And now we're trying to put triggers inside Wave where it helps foster building those connections, such as like automated follow-ups that are personalized and things of that nature.
Yeah, so it can be like a tiny CRM that you carry
Yeah,
with you.
exactly.
In
It's a
your
mini
pocket.
CRM that helps you get shit done. And yeah.
So that's no, that's I think that's very interesting, and there is so much difficulty for CEOs and even, yeah, as you said, students or job seekers, um, people that do business development to do the follow up. So it's easy to go to an event, meet 15 people, and but trying to remember everything about every person that you met, it's very difficult. So having something that also triggers some follow up, I believe that it's I believe that it's a good product.
Yeah, definitely.
It's
And the fact that like you're able to keep the list of all the people you met at specific events in one place, so it keeps you organized, allows you to add notes and labels so you can kind of figure out what you guys spoke about, when, any follow-ups that you need to do. So yeah, you got it bang on, Dio. It's kind of like a mini CRM.
great. So and how do you what is your vision? How do you envision the future of your company or your industry? Like in when I say future, I'm thinking because the tech is going so fast, I'm thinking the next 3 to 5 years.
Yeah, we want to kind of make it some sort of like digital identity, whether it's on the interpersonal level, the in-person level, or whether it's on a Web3 level. That's something that we're thinking of in the long term. But having a digital identity, a professional digital identity across all channels is kind of what we're doing.
Yeah, and it's very relevant in other also in other area like I don't know the medical on the medical side. It's also there is a need also to have some unifying digital identity of someone, digital record of a patient of a person. So yeah, I believe that yeah, the industry is really going there. And you so there are so many now. You have about 4 people in your team. What is your daily, what is a day in your life as a CEO founder now that you have that graphic designer, that full stack developer? What are your main tasks?
Yeah, so it's slowly moving away from doing a lot of grunt work. I'm still doing quite a lot in terms of growth and sales,
Mhm.
but a lot of it is somehow like public relations and business development. Like you're active on podcasts, active on speaker panels, you're active on social and organic. You're really trying to get the awareness out there about your brand. You're looking to hire more people. Like right now, we're looking to hire junior sales representatives to help on the B2B side. So we typically sell software to businesses to
Mhm.
be able to manage all their digital business cards of their employees in one place. And we have different like ways in which we sell, whether it's inbound or outbound. So it really is like business development and hiring is the most important thing right now.
That's great. That's great, and it's good that you can work on the business and a bit less
The
side
business, yeah.
inside the business. And do you are you looking for clients in Montreal necessarily, or in Canada necessarily, or you're worldwide?
Yeah, so right now our main focus is Canada. We've started to expand slowly in the States, Seattle, New York, LA, things of that nature. And we're slowly starting to roll out in the United States.
Okay, that's excellent. So another thing that I would like to ask George is whether or not, and maybe should have asked it at the start, but it's whether or not you did grow up in Montreal, or if you had upbringing elsewhere and then you arrive as an immigrant and.
So I was born and raised here in Montreal. I stayed around 15, 16 years. Eventually, the family wanted to go back to their hometown, Lebanon. So I ended up going with them. I stayed there close to 8 years. And then eventually, I ended up coming back to Canada. I've been here for 5 years now.
Excellent, excellent.
Yeah.
So yeah, I believe that it was a really a great interview. Do you have anything to share to the audience with regards to anyone that would like to get in touch with you?
Yeah, definitely. If you're an individual looking to upgrade your networking and you're looking for a digital business card, you could always check our website, which is wavecnct.com to take a look. And if you're a business and you're looking to upgrade your team's networking, you can always get in touch with us on the website or LinkedIn, and I'll be more than happy to show you guys how it works and demonstrate that product for you.
Okay, thanks very much. And a very last question, it's about consulting lifestyle. So that's the name of the podcast, and you are working partially also with businesses, so trying to consult businesses on that. So I would like to know for you, Georgia, what does having a consulting lifestyle mean?
Yeah, definitely. So having a consulting quote unquote lifestyle is really about I kind of do some consulting in some way. You know, whenever you have a client that you're working with, you're kind of consulting them on the best thing that you need to do, the best practices and how you can help solve their problem. So really the consulting lifestyle, in my opinion, is really just understanding that pain point that your customer is facing, and then, you know, using the head above your shoulders to figure out how to get it solved.
Okay, great. Thank you very much, George. Founder of Wave. You can go on the website, so Wave, WAVECNCT.com. That will also be put in the show notes. Thank you, George. That was a great interview, and I would be very keen to have another one like in the future and see how the progress is going.
Yeah, definitely. I'm all in.
Okay, thank you very much.
No problem. See ya.